serenity. "It's almost like something out of Phantom of the Opera," she murmured to her friend, Ava Grieux, who was a step behind, juggling a large hand-lettered poster. "Or The Hunchback of Notre Dame," Ava offered. "You remember that poor, twisted creature scrabbling around in the bell tower?" "I remember," said Carmela, and wished she hadn't. St. Tristan's had a bell tower, too. A tall, spindly structure with ancient bronze bells that clanged out their soliloquy above the French Quarter 3 times a day. "Still," said Ava, gazing about the church with an almost beatific expression on her face, "I love it here. It's particularly meaningful, now that I'm volunteering with the Angel Auxiliary." Carmela, a youthful blonde of not quite 30, directed a skeptical sideways glance at her best friend, whose va-va-voom figure was sheathed in tight black leather slacks and a plunging yellow t-shirt with sequined court jester motif on the front. She herself was dressed in Republican beige and had worn sensible low-heeled shoes, quite appropriate considering her churchy errand today. But Carmela, who fancied herself conservative and worried that she was plain in a city where moonlight and magnolias were the norm, was really quite lovely in her own right. Her skin glowed with a peaches and cream luminosity, blue-gray eyes mirrored the color of the Gulf of Mexico, and she projected an upbeat air of barely contained mirth and energy. And, upon certain occasions, generally a fanciful Mardi Gras ball, Carmela wasn't afraid to fling caution to the wind and jack her 5-foot 6-inch frame onto tottering 4-inch stilettos to hang out with the tall gals. And the tall guys, naturally. Still, the fact remained, when Ava strutted her stuff with the assurance of a peacock, Carmela sometimes felt like a little brown wren. "Got to ratchet up the sizzle," Carmela told herself. "Buy a Wonder Bra or a purple silk teddy. Spritz on a cloud of Chanel No. 5. Keep that boyfriend of mine on his toes. Although maybe I shouldn't be thinking about all this in church." "People don't realize," said Ava, dipping 2 fingers into a marble holy water font, crossing herself, then turning innocent, practically guileless eyes on Carmela, "that I'm a very strict Catholic." "Really?" Carmela's tone was purposefully flat. No question intended, no judgment made. Just a bushel basket full of curiosity. Like, had the church elders ever dug into Ava's background? Did they know she was the proprietor of the Juju Voodoo shop? Carmela thought not. But seriously, what was the harm in a voodoo shop owner working as a docent in church? Nothing really. Because Ava was Ava, a retired beauty queen who partied her brains out and was known to enjoy a romantic fling or 2. Or 8 or 9. "It's so peaceful in here," said Ava, as they slipped silently up a side aisle and stopped in front of a low wooden table scattered with books, hymnals, and pamphlets. "And I can't thank you enough for hand-lettering this poster." She reached behind the table, slid out a wooden easel, and plunked the poster onto it. "A perfect display," she declared. Carmela pushed aside a hunk of artfully honeyed blonde hair and directed a smile at Ava. Always glad to help out. She'd been brushing up on her calligraphy like crazy anyway, gearing up for an upcoming seminar at her scrapbook shop, Memory Mine. Ava set about straightening the little stacks of pamphlets, while Carmela gazed up at a stained glass window that depicted a tall, stern-looking angel cradling a lamb. What should have been resplendent panes of red, blue, and yellow glass with thin November sunlight streaming through only looked dull and muted today. Rain poured down outside, as it had for the past 3 days, encasing all of New Orleans in a soggy, gray, amorphous cloud. Even in here, Carmela could hear rain drumming against the roof and gurgling down drain spouts. For a moment, Carmela wondered if, way at the tippy top of the roofline, St. Tristan's might not have gargoyle drain spouts, much like the great churches of Europe. And why not? This was an old church built at the turn of the century. Not this century, but two gone past, by the hands of the same type of good and God-fearing men who'd supervised the construction of landmark cathedrals and abbeys. Using the tried-and-true Romanesque plan of long nave and short transept, they'd built this fine edifice, established an adjoining graveyard, and buried their noteworthy followers in crypts beneath these very same floors where today's worshippers now walked. A sudden soft clunk focused Carmela's eyes on a nearby confessional. Was someone in there?